What is up, YouTube? It is Detox, and today I bring you guys a tutorial video over something in Photoshop that I seem to see quite a lot of, and I just kind of recently learned how to do this myself. And since the videos on YouTube that are about this particular thing aren't really all that great, no offense to them, I thought I would try and make my own, maybe make it a little bit easier to understand. And what I'm actually going to show you guys today is in Photoshop. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and open up a new image. 1280 by 720 will be fine. And right now I've got just my standard paintbrush tool, and it's actually to get some of these cooler paintbrushes. So for example, like this one right here, that's now my paintbrush, and I can go all around like this if I wanted to, and it would just work. But it's easy to do once you know how to do it, but it's kind of weird to figure out how to do it the first time. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to close this out, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do it. So the first thing you guys are going to need is Photoshop, obviously. So if you don't have that, pause the video, get it, and then come back. And if you already have Photoshop, we'll go ahead and continue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a new tab. I'm going to go to myphotoshopbrushes.com. I just completely forgot how to type, apparently. Alright, and it's going to pull up a website that looks like this. Now, obviously, you'll click the Brushes tab, and then you can select. They have a whole bunch of these. I'm just going to click Vintage, sorted by Popular, and I'm just going to see what comes up. Oh, God, those are terrible. I'm going to go to Human. Try that again. These are even worse. I'm going to stick with something I know. I'm going to go with Symbols, and yeah. With that, I'm just going to select any of them. I mean, any of them will work. You can go through and select whichever ones you want. I'm going to select Broken Arrows brushes. And there are 23 different brushes in this particular set. There are bigger packs. I've seen some that go up to, I think, 311 was the biggest one I've ever downloaded. But obviously the file sizes are very small, 1.5 megs, so you'll be able to download it in a few seconds. So obviously you'll just hit that pink download button, although I think the styling of the site's a little weird at times. And then you go ahead and click it. It's going to download a zip file, so it'll go ahead and open it up, and then you'll have your Mac OS. So if you're running a Mac, you can just go in there, and there's your ABR file for that. But we just need the regular ABR file, which is right here. Now this is an Adobe brush file. This is specifically used by Photoshop to designate what counts as a brush. Now, you're actually going to need two file explorers open. So I'm going to go ahead and open up another one. And you're going to go to wherever you have Photoshop loaded. So I've got it in my program files in Adobe and Photoshop. Once you get there, you're going to go to Presets. And then you're going to go to Brushes. And as you can see, I have tons of brushes as it is. I have tons of different sets. Because I found one huge pack. And that's not what I wanted. I found one huge pack. And so I was just able to find it directly from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this and just copy it over. You'll need to approve it, and there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and go back into Photoshop, make a new image like that, and then I'm going to go into, let's see, we're going to hit this little cog right here once we get into our brush tool, and we're going to hit the load brushes icon, or thing, whatnot. And then this pulls up all of the images that we've got here. So what we're going to look for is the, I believe it was called Broken Arrows. What was it called? Oh, KL stock. Okay, so we'll just go and we'll find that KL stock. Actually, better yet, that's not going to go down to it, so I'm going to have to do this anyway. Okay, oh, and of course I pass it. And of course it's not here. Well, it doesn't really matter. We can just do any of them. I'll just select kinetic brushes, and we'll load it. And there they are. They are all loaded in, starting from about here on. So now you've got all these kinds of brushes, and you just go in, and it's selected. So that's kind of how you do that. And usually, whenever you want to do this, you'll want to set the opacity down to about 15. Depending on what you're doing. If you're doing like a YouTube background and you just want to have like that really subtle kind of effect, then this will be perfect. It'll just be, you know, kind of a little thing to kind of make it not just like a solid background. And so that's kind of how you'll do that. And you can also do the same thing with gradients. If you saw on the website, you can go to the styles and gradients and whatnot. They don't have near as many. I think this is actually all they have. But you can download these gradient packs and you can actually use them the same way, except instead of going to the Brushes tab, you'll actually go to the Gradients folder, not tab, folder. In the presets folder, there's brushes, and then you'll actually go down to gradients, and then you'll be able to find it there. Now I've downloaded a couple of them, and they do work very well. Instead of going to the brushes tool when you actually want to load them, you'll go to your rectangle tool, you'll change your fill to gradient, and then there'll be the little cog you click and you'll load the gradients, and it'll be the same thing. Anyway guys, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like. And if you guys want to see some more tutorials with Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere Pro, any of those things, I would love to be able to do them. I'm pretty familiar with the Adobe software. I do have all of the programs, which is really nice. So if you guys want to see something, put it in the comment section down below, and I'll make sure to get to it as soon as possible. I do want to kind of break away from Call of Duty. So I want to put out some other stuff, and I figured Photoshop tutorials would be a very good place to start. Anyway guys, thank you guys again for watching, and with that being said, my name is Detox, and I am out.